Hi, my name is Sakal Musa from Hub 752 Advanced Health Information Systems from George Mason University. The title of this presentation is Can Infections Cause Alzheimer's Disease? Introduction, again, the problem statement. We would like to check if infections could lead to Alzheimer's. Currently, over 5 million Americans are living with this progressive disease. It is estimated that in 2050, this number will triple, where about 16 million Americans will have AD. Alzheimer's disease affects 1 in 9 Americans who are over the age of 65. Apparently, this is a huge public health issue. It costs lives, it costs money, and everyone either have a family member or a friend or neighbor, so everyone should be concerned and interested about this issue. Some other stakeholders of this disease includes providers, researchers, pharmaceutical companies, and caregivers. Some of the articles that I looked talk about how Alzheimer's is a brain disorder. It destroys the memory. It happens during middle or later in life, so it's more age associated. But some people, they may have it earlier than in later lives. It is genetics play a role. It is top leading causes of death. One of the articles also mentioned how seniors with Alzheimer's disease are more hospitalized, 3 times more seniors without this disease. More literature review that I looked into predictions and how lifestyle plays a role developing AD. The cost of Alzheimer's continues to increase. Healthcare costs is expected to rise with the incidence of AD. The articles also talked about the correlation between AD and diabetes type 2 is very strong, and also certain infectious pathogens could lead to AD, as I will show in my result tables. Also, socioeconomic status and environment both play a big role. The cohorts, the database that we looked into, contain 17 million plus records of diagnosis data. The number of actual patients in this data was 827,000. This cohort that we looked at had 90% were male. That was the cohort. The methods that we did, we wanted to calculate what is the probability for the patients who were exposed infectious, who they will develop Alzheimer's. We did join the tables that we had in the database to figure out the association between AD and infections. We cleaned the data. We removed zombies. We reduced bad data or getting rid of anything that some patients who were being seen after their death. More method. We performed the analysis, we imported the data into MS SQL Server. This was a huge file, so we had one large file and merged into one final table. We did a preliminary analysis on the data by calculating the average, calculating the median and the standard deviation, and also calculate the likelihood ratio to predict a patient's prognosis. The results and findings more. The average age of the patients in this research was 79 years of age. The standard deviation was 14.5, and the mean age was 19.5 years, and the max was 100 years and plus. Okay, we performed sub-selection to get the number of diagnoses. This is a SQL code query that we use to get to this 10,000 patient records. The number of diagnoses combination in the DBO final table that we have. All the diagnoses related to dementia. Also, here is the code that we use. We run this query, and here is the result that we get. This is from the CSS table that we had in our database. This shows the number of patients with infectious disease and Alzheimer's. So the query we run here is, you can see all those infectious diseases, infective arthritis, osteoarthritis, intestinal infection. So those are all the diseases that came out with the number of patients in infectious disease. Conclusion. So could infectious lead to AD? Based on the data that I looked into and the articles that I read, I cannot determine that infections cause AD. However, this strong association means something more, but it's difficult to decide at this moment. So my conclusion is not determined at this time. So this strong correlation indicates something definitely. Some of the risk factors that I looked into was age. Age was a huge factor of AD. Other risk factors included diseases. Of course, infections are number one of the disease, and socioeconomic status plays a role. I looked one of the articles and to see socioeconomic and how it's strong it is, and it's big. And the racial markup of Alzheimer's disease showed that 2.9% Caucasians have Alzheimer's, where 9.1% Americans have. So here is the number. Here there's a huge difference, like 3 times more. And the Hispanic was 7.5%. Some of the future work. One thing that I will do more would be to clean the data more, and performing cross-validation will be good. Perform more accuracy on calculations. Stratification would be good to decide more how infections cause Alzheimer's, to sort out and remove some factors. So in conclusion, there are currently clinical trials testing the effectiveness of antibiotic drugs in AD patients. The results will not only be important for potential new therapy for AD patients, but will also shed light on a connection between these otherwise seemingly desperate serious disorders. So a lot of research is underway, so hopefully in the future we will have more strong and legit validation to decide how infections cause Alzheimer's. Thanks for watching, and I'm